Cornwall's Rewind Radio, Jack Murley with you in our gorgeous Studio 3 settings, here with a man who can only be described as a Cornish rugby legend. Matthew Shepherd, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Busy old year for you. We're sitting here and it's August, and yet we can still talk about the county championship at Twickenham. Old hat for you, but always special, right?
Yeah, we touched base probably 3-4 months ago, and it was I think it was the 12th year. So 12th year, and I did 8 in a row, which is pretty nice. So to be involved in all of them since 2012 is pretty special, really. And
the women as well up there as well. We were saying, you know, to have the black and gold go to Twickenham once for the men is fantastic. To do it year after year is brilliant. But to have a day where it's bookended, Cornwall at the start and finish, that's what sport's about. Yeah,
it was ace. And like I say, we were at 5 o'clock in the evening, the kick-off. So it was a late one. But we managed to watch the ladies on the bus, which was ace. Everyone was there. We kind of got the feel before the feeling.
Yeah.
So we never really hit our straps until we got there, which was the best thing that could have happened to us.
It's amazing, isn't it? You look around the world of rugby and there are so many people who write the county championship off, and yet in Cornwall it still feels special. There's still that buzz when you hear, and you'll literally have heard it, Trelawney floating across HQ, or you see the black and gold. It's special.
Nothing like it. And I said it in interviews before, is to play for Cornwall, put on the black and gold is once in a lifetime. You know what I mean? We're lucky enough to do it numerous times, whereas some people will strive for that, and that is the peak, that's the pinnacle of some people's rugby career, and that's my pinnacle at the minute, and I'm so proud to put on the black and gold every time.
Well, how is it now being one of the older campaigners in the squad, right? And I'll let people into a secret. You and I both know St Austell Rugby Club really well. Yeah. We grew up and actually played a bit of age group rugby together. One of us really took to it. One of us didn't take to it quite so much. But now you're looking at kids coming through who are playing their first county championship where you've been there, done it. How is that?
And this is going to make me sound really old. My first, I think it was 2013, we spoke about one of the boys on the bus. He said he came and watched the 2013 final.
Wow.
And that was my first final. And funnily enough, his name is Shepherd. It's Jago Shepherd from Camborne. And he was like, oh, this is the shirt I wore. And he wore it up on the day because he was like, I was thinking, how amazing is that? But then also on the flip side, that makes me a definite veteran. and that was one of the key things on the commentary. It was like, Matt Shepherd, the Cornish veteran. I thought, when I listened to it back, it was nice to be in that bracket, because people are playing at that level, at that age, and I'm one of those guys, and I'm proud to say that as well.
Well, 13 years of going to Twickenham, not every year, of course, but to have that experience. Rugby's there, it's in your blood, and it's in the blood of your family. And why you're here today is to talk about something special you're doing for your late dad, who I had the pleasure of knowing, who was a legend of rugby in Cornwall. Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm running the London Marathon for Diabetes UK this year. So lucky enough to be selected. I think it was one of 50 for the first part on the Sunday. So like I say, it's very close to my heart, and is one that pulls a lot of heartstrings, and it's a distance that everyone kind of looks at. You know, I'd love to run a marathon, but when you get on it like I did this year, and to run it is a mental challenge. But knowing that in the back of my mind, that doing it for something special that's directly or indirectly affected my family is super special.
When we talk about your dad, you say the name Bernie Shepherd in Cornish rugby circles, and everyone knew him or knew of him and had a story about him. The support you must have got when you said, I'm doing this for Dad, must have been overwhelming.
Yeah, and I reached out to a few businesses and said about some sponsorship for a training shirt and a training vest and to wear. And the people that came back, there's some unbelievable places. There's Charlestown Health and Beauty, there's the Long Store, there's obviously yourselves, Rewind Radio, there's loads of people that are still willing to be involved, and VX3 who are going to do the shirts, and it's amazing to know that those rugby circles are so close, and they will reach out, and it's not, look, people are sponsoring a fair bit of money, which is incredible, and that's the aim, is to put Diabetes UK on the map. Is massive anyway, but however, in Cornwall, to know the journey, that obviously document my journey going through the training and someone else's journey, and to give local businesses a chance to put their hand up and say, let's support something amazing.
Plenty of chances still to support you. We'll get on to how they can do that in a bit. Yeah. We can't do this without doing a plug. People are going to look at you and go, what's Matthew Shepherd? Of course he can run a marathon. Look, he's been playing for Cornwall for however long. He's played, rugby at all the different levels you can play at. It's different gravy, though, training for a marathon. How do you build the time in to do it?
Like I said, I was lucky enough to run it last year for the guide dogs, and it was incredibly hard. balancing family life, balancing rugby, balancing the gym, balancing marathon training, because you run a lot. Like and there's different types of training you got to do. We run on a Monday. Yeah. You do a little bit of cardio on a Tuesday. You do a long run on a Wednesday. Bearing in mind, then you train on a Tuesday, you train on a Thursday, you play on a Saturday.
Like strength training and drill training as well. They're almost like contradictory, aren't they? What you need sometimes for rugby is going to be the absolute worst thing that you need for marathon training.
And that's I managed to pay for a program it's called March on Fitness. So it's a big fitness industry. It's based in London, but they were quite good. You could pick 2 or 3 different programs to like pull certain bits out of. So I did a bit of hybrid training, then I did some marathon training. So it kind of worked hand in hand, but it was by far one of the hardest things I've ever done, is to balance everything.
I know it's for such a personal reason. When your finger was hovering over doing it again, was there anyone in your friends and family going, come on, surely you've done enough now, you don't want to do it a second time? Or was that the athlete in you saying, I know I want to do it for the good cause, but I also want to do it for me?
Yeah, and you've hit the nail on the head. Like me and my wife, we both, on the way up to the marathon, she was like, should we apply again? Because you can apply in the ballot. We're like, before I even ran it, I wanted to do it again. I knew that, because I wasn't 100% fit when I did it last time, and I knew I had a target what I wanted to get. So we did that, and then you had to scratch another itch. The itch was there, and it was London wasn't London on that day, and it sounds very, really silly, but everyone spoke to each other. Everyone was cheering. People were giving you fruit, people giving you sweets, and that feeling was incredible. You're part of that 1% club, as they say.
Well, were you bumping into other Cornish people? Because you know what it's like. You go to the Balearics, Mallorca or somewhere, and you bump into someone, it turns out they're from just down the road, or they went to the same school. When you're there in the marathon, were you able to find other Cornish people? Did you ever? You
laugh. We went to the expo on the day, and I coached a lad's son, so Rush Milsom, his name is. He plays cricket and rugby in Newquay. Walking down into the expo, Shep! I was like, turned around, it was there, because I knew he was doing it, and of all the days, of all the people, like, he was there, and like...
That's Cornwall, isn't it?
It is Cornwall, and and Ellie said, she goes, you know someone everywhere. But it is true, and I think those circles are so small, but they're so broad.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it? The joy of Cornwall, you know someone anywhere. Everyone will know someone who's been affected by diabetes, either themselves directly or a family member or a friend of a friend. If people want to throw some money at you, they want to support you, they're a business that wants to get behind you. You've done Cornwall proud for so many years on the rugby stage. Cornwall's going to want to back you. Take us home, Shep. How can they sponsor, do all the good stuff?
Yes, I've got a Just Giving page that I could obviously plug for you guys later on. I've got an opportunity for guys to sponsor a running vest, a running t-shirt that I'll be training all throughout the year. So obviously we've got 9 months left to the marathon. So
does that fill you with dread when you say I got 9 months left?
9 months of loads of running. But do you know what? It's one of those things. I've got an opportunity, so up to 10 sponsors. At the minute we've got 7 sponsors already taken already. So we've got 3 left. However, there's loads of opportunities. There's going to be Lingo Bingo nights, there's going to be coffee mornings, so anything big, anything small, any donations, any prizes you would like to donate, like happily take them off your hands, and then that'll be directly to loads of people around
That's what I'm going to say. The money's going to go back into tackling diabetes, which is what it's all about. I'll say this, your dad was always proud of you. He's going to be extra proud, knowing that this is what you're doing, looking down from wherever he is. Just search Matt Shepherd, right? And they'll find your fundraising page?
Yeah. I think it's just searching Matt Shepherd on Just Giving. That's my fundraising page. I do a lot of promotion on, obviously, my Cornwall Rugby coaching, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn. So everything is on there that you need to find out. And all my journey will be on there. And I think this is like going to document it hardcore this time. Last time it was like, I'm doing it, but not doing it. But this is now a reason that we're fully going for it. So yeah, documentation all the way through of training, how you're feeling, what you're eating, what you're not eating, how to fuel.
And this question is the last one. Is this the last one? Or are you already thinking, well, if I hit that time this time, I'm going to sign up for the next ballot? Or are you just so focused on this one?
Yeah, focused on this one. But I think it's the athlete in me that always... probably never.
That's
never
a yes,
happy.
Shep. Come on, you're trying to say, oh no, mate, this is a yes. So marathons for the foreseeable.
I think so. Yeah, no, it's an addictive. It's a bug. It's an addiction. Like I'd rather be addicted to sport than anything else. And I'm happy that this is where the journey is now. And I think definitely turning to running in the latter end of my career is probably where we'll be. But